Ladies and gentlemen, we are off to our fan favorites, shoutouts and rants. We'll keep the same order, and I will bat fifth for today's episode. So, Matt Kelly, do you have a shout out and or rant for us?
I do. I have a rant, I suppose, against KPMG and its many affiliates around the world, which yet again have been tagged by regulators for employees at KPMG's affiliates cheating on internal tests and licensing exams. For anybody who says, wait, isn't this familiar? That's because it is. Because KPMG was first sanctioned by the Securities and Exchange Commission for cheating on these internal tests in 2019. And then accounting regulators sanctioned KPMG's Australia unit in 2021. And then along the way, KPMG affiliates in, let me see if I have the list, Colombia, India, and Britain have all been sanctioned for cheating in 2022. And now, late news here, KPMG was fined by the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board $25 million for cheating in its Netherlands unit. That is the largest fine that the PCAOB has ever imposed for anything at all in its 20-year history, I think. But the Netherlands affiliate, which is KPMG NV, these guys were cheating and you couldn't believe it. They were cheating clear into 2022 when the regulators had first started slapping around the firm in 2019. Come on, by now they had to have known that cheating on employee tests, licensing exams, CPA exams, training modules and whatnot, that's a thing. They shouldn't do it. Everybody knew that the regulators were after this, and yet the Netherlands employees were doing it anyways. My favorite was that this claimed the head of assurance for KPMG NV, who was engaged in cheating, where he had staffers sitting next to him helping him to take the tests or to give him answers. He has been barred from public accounting as a profession forever, I believe. And then just to put a cherry on top of this, one thing that really stuck in the craw of the PCAOB enforcement people was they went to the firm, the affiliate firm in the Netherlands, and asked them, are you aware of any cheating that happened at the firm before July 2022? And the firm said, no, we are not. And that statement was first reviewed by the affiliate's management board and its supervisory board, both of which had board members who were doing cheating during 2022 and before, and were then asked to certify it is correct that we knew of no cheating when they themselves had been cheating. And you don't even know what to say anymore. I get it that all the big four firms do this. I know they all do. DAOB, by coincidence, they also sanctioned two affiliates of Deloitte. And in the past, they have sanctioned PwC for this. So I will have to check and make sure whether or not any Ernst & Young affiliates have been sanctioned yet. But I know that cheating is rampant. I get that it happens at many firms. We know that it shouldn't, but KPMG's many affiliates really take this to a whole new level. On an abstract dimension, you almost have to admire the cheating that these guys do and how utterly incomprehensible it is to me that you would think you could get away with it because they did not. But good Lord, guys. All right, that's it. That's me off my soapbox.
The bar is set very high today. Karen Woody, what do you have for us?
I'm gonna keep the theme of Groundhog Day, just as Matt had again, because just like the last time I was here, I talked about Panawat and I talked about Caitlin Clark. So I'm back at it again, Caitlin Clark, this time as a rant, because we saw this week the difference in salaries, and we saw that the Denver Nuggets mascot is gonna make, I think, 7x more than Caitlin Clark will make in her first year at the NBA. So that's a bit of a rant, and I think it's a self-evident one, but I guess on the flip side, the sort of other side of that coin is that transparency and that knowledge that now everyone has and how egregiously different those pay scales are, given how much exposure Caitlin's brought to the game and to all of it. I hope this fixes it in some ways, but yeah, it's been, I think, an obvious rant about that salary difference between literally even the mascots and the top player in the WNBA.
Jonathan Marks, do you have a rant and or shout out for us today?
ovo lupo commentator. Isn't that the fox guarding the hen house, Matt? I think that's the Latin term. I don't know. I didn't go to law school, so all those things like ipse dixit and para pursu and duces tecum, and I don't know how I learned how to say them over the years. They're probably not right, but at least I gave it a try. Actually, I'm gonna get shout out. So, Tom, I'm gonna throw out a number, and for Jay and Matt too, and Karen, I'm not excluding you from this, but it's a little, I don't know, it's a little bit more tainted here today. 2,632. Does that ring a bell?
It does not.
I'll give you a hint. He was replaced by a rookie.
Wally Pitt?
2,632.
Is it Cal Ripken?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Cameron,
yeah.
please go.
That was our team before the Nationals.
632 consecutive games. You shout out to Cal, but that's not really my shout out. My shout out is to a young man, Kevin Ford, who worked 27 years at Burger King without missing a day of work. And when this got out, there was a social media push and they raised $450,000 for this chap who went out and bought a house. 27 years of work at Burger King, having it your way, you rule, and never missed a day of work. Cal, sorry to say, but your 2,632 consecutive games gets really overshadowed by this gentleman, Kevin Ford, who worked 27 years at Burger King without missing a day of work.
Well done. Jay Rosen, do you have a shout out and or rant for us?
It's a semi rant. And last Sunday night, CBS broadcast the 100th concert in a row, or the 100th sold out by Billy Joel. And Billy Joel has passionate fans, but due to a confluence of the Masters and the show starting early, as Billy started to play his finale of Piano Man, his most loved song in the world, what did CBS do? They cut to local news. So the outcry is not the Heidi game from 1968 between the Raiders and the Jets. God damn it. CBS tries to do something good and they get egg on their face. So that's my lukewarm rant.
I'm going to shout out, and I'm going to shout out to Senator Robert Menendez, who just gave every divorce lawyer in America a new way to make money. How do you do that? You get accused of bribery and corruption and you blame your wife. Yes, he's throwing his wife under the bus. First, he asked for a separate trial. The reason? It was her. It was his wife that got the new car after she wrecked her first one. It was her wife that got all the cash that was delivered to his office. And it was his wife who got the gold bars that she kept in the safe storage room in their house. And guess what? She never told him. So, Senator Robert Menendez, I shout out to your chutzpah. I shout out to your giving divorce lawyers an entirely new way to make money. And if anybody else is charged with bribery and corruption, just throw your wife under the bus. All right, guys, 1 hour and 23 minutes. 1 hour and 23 seconds. What a great episode. I can't wait to see what we do next.